With this video, I'd like to explain how to set up the volleyball nets in 4 locations used by McLean Youth Volleyball. Those 4 locations are all elementary schools, and they take advantage of a net system called the Spalding Multisport sliders. These nets are actually capable of being set at volleyball heights, badminton heights, pickleball heights, and tennis heights, so the schools love them. By the time you watch this video, they'll be in 4 locations: Spring Hill Elementary School, Chesterbrook Elementary School, Churchill Road Elementary School, and Haycock Elementary School. At Spring Hill Elementary School, the nets are located on the far side of the gym in this closet. And in Chesterbrook Elementary School, the nets can be found in the storage room behind these double doors. And in Churchill Elementary School, you could find the volleyball equipment inside the closet right behind these double doors. And at Haycock Elementary School, the equipment can be found in this storage closet. For today's demonstration of setting the nets, we're going to use Spring Hill Elementary School as our example. Here, as mentioned before, the nets and poles and pads are all located in the storage room across from the main entrance between the double doors leading outside. Typically, the doors are locked. You'll have to ask a custodian. They have the magic key to open up the doors. Once it's unlocked, you can get inside. I want to point out how neatly this is stored. At the end of the practice, if you're the last coach, at the end of the day, at the manager practices, make sure that all the equipment is put back neatly. The poles go into the pole racks on the side, the nets are inside the pads, and the pads are stood up neatly. For a single center court configuration, you'll need just 2 poles, one with a crank and one with a hook to string a net across. For a 2-court side-by-side practice configuration, you'll need all 4 poles. Pair up poles with both a crank and a hook to string 2 nets across. For a 3-court PE class configuration available at Spring Hill Elementary School and Haycock Elementary School, make sure the 2 inner poles have the dual sliders with both a crank and a hook to string 3 nets across. Once you determine what the configuration is, go ahead and set up the poles. First, you want to take a flat item like a key, open up the lid where the sleeve is, pull out the appropriate pole, slide it right in, do it on the other side, and then you're ready to set the net between the 2 of them. When you open up the pads, you notice there's 2 types of nets. One type of net has these antennas on it, and you'll see white piping going down on the side. These are actually the full-size nets for center court, so these are the ones that most practices will use if you're the only team in the gym. The other kind of net is, without the antennas, has black piping going down the side. Those are the customized nets. They're shorter than the regular nets, and they're there for side-by-side practices and for the PE classes. When you pull out the net, you'll notice that the top cable has both a short end and a long end. You want to place the long end on the pole that has just a hook. You want to place the short end on the pole with the crank. This way the net spans across the court evenly. Again, take the side of the net with the long cable and just place it on the hook like this. To connect the pole with the crank to the net, first you want to extend out as much as possible. You want to give yourself as much slack on this cable connected to the pole. You'll see there's a clamp, and what you want to do is you want to take the net with the short side of the cable on top of the net and connect that to this clamp. It takes a little bit of body strength, upper body strength, but it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. There you go. There are 2 markings on the pole of note. The W with a line is the women's height. That's 7'4", used by middle school and high school. The one below that, J, is for juniors. That's used for elementary school for the 4th through 6th grade. What you want to do is you want to move the slider so that the arrow you see on the right side is slightly above the mark on the pole. When you're ready to set the height of the net, use this black knob, loosen it, and push up the slider to the appropriate height. Turning it back like this should make it fasten nice and tight. Once the nets are attached and the pole sliders are set to the right height, go ahead and crank up the net. What you want to do is you want to make it as taut as possible, but don't over tighten. Like that. Take the bottom rope ratchet, connect to the net, and pull one side until it's tight. Then take the ratchet on the other side of the net, connect to the pole, take the rope, pull it as much as possible. You want to try to take the piping of the net and make that parallel to the pole itself. Once you put the pads around the poles, connected with the Velcro, you're ready to finally play volleyball. Once you're ready to put the nets away, first thing you want to do after you take off the pads is release the lower rope. Put your finger inside the locking mechanism. There's a little bit of a latch here. Push forward, that loosens it up. Pull it out of the hook, do it on both sides, and you're ready to uncrank the net. To take down the net, you just want to do the opposite of what you did before. You want to uncrank the net, give it as much slack as you possibly can. Once you've had enough slack, you'll find it's pretty easy to go ahead and simply unfasten the clamp like this. And you're ready to take these poles, lift them out of the holes, and put them back in the storage cabinet. When putting away the nets, the first step is to take the clip from the lower part of the net, hook it to the metal top, pull it tight like this. This way these pieces don't get stuck when the net is folded up. To put the net away, never roll the net. Simply fold the net on top of itself like a bed sheet. Fold it first in half, then in quarters, then in eighths. Once you've folded the net, take the entire net and place it inside one of the pads. And then using the Velcro of the pad, seal it. So again, put the net inside, tighten the Velcro around it. And you're ready to put it back inside the storage closet. Reminder again to put it in nice and neatly, and you're done putting away the nets.